The movie commences at a lively party where a group of young friends congregates around a table. The girls engage in a conversation about their calorie intake, and one of them introduces an app that can track their consumed calories. Intrigued, another girl attempts to find the app but accidentally stumbles upon a different one called Countdown. This peculiar app reveals the remaining time left before its user's demise. Everyone, except for Court, becomes excited to install the app and discover their remaining time. Reluctantly, Court also agrees to join the game that the friends have turned it into. The rules dictate that the person with the shortest lifespan must consume all the drinks on the table. Without reading the terms and conditions, Court, like everyone else, accepts them. Each person takes their turn, receiving a lifespan ranging from 60 to 30 years, except Court, who discovers she only has 3 hours left. After the party, Court and Evan leave for Evan's car, with Evan heavily intoxicated. Court requests Evan to walk her home, but he refuses. Concerned about the possibility of an accident, Court decides to walk alone. As she walks, Court receives a message from the app stating that she has violated the user agreement. A feeling of being followed creeps upon her, and the app warns her that she has less than 2 minutes to live. Frantically, she rushes into her house and seeks refuge in the bathroom. Inside the bathroom, Court senses a presence and, as she turns around, something grabs her from above and hurls her onto the bathtub, resulting in a fatal head injury. As the countdown reaches 0, Court loses her life. Meanwhile, Evan gets involved in a severe car accident, wrecking the passenger seat where Court was supposed to be. The scene transitions to a hospital where the protagonist, Quinn, is assigned to perform surgery on Evan the following day. Quinn encounters Evan alone and engages him in conversation. Evan shows her the Countdown app, predicting that he has approximately 19 hours left, and he believes he will die during the surgery. Quinn reassures Evan and convinces him to return to his room. On their way, they encounter another nurse named Amy, who surprises Quinn with a cake for passing her nursing test. Quinn shares with her colleagues about an app she recently learned about, which predicts the time of their deaths. Some colleagues jest about it but still decide to install the app. Some reveal they have over 50 years left to live, with one mentioning 57 years, jokingly remarking that it would make them 98 years old. Later, Quinn downloads the app and discovers she has slightly less than 3 days remaining. Anxious, she enters an elevator where Dr. Sullivan finds her and attempts to flirt. Politely, Quinn turns down his advances, mentioning work and suggesting a rain check. Quinn then visits her parents' house and discovers her sister, Jordan, with her boyfriend in the closet. There is tension between the sisters as Jordan expresses frustration with Quinn for seldom visiting since their mother's passing. Quinn apologizes, but Jordan slams her room's door, demanding that Quinn leave. Quinn's father embraces her and suggests visiting their mother's grave, mentioning bringing fresh flowers. The next day, Evan realizes he has approximately 3 minutes left before his surgery is scheduled to commence. Despite this, he decides to leave his room. As he strolls through the corridors of the hospital, an eerie sight catches his eye in the mirror, an ominous figure that exudes an air of death. Frightened, he hastily retreats to a nearby stairwell, with the figure relentlessly pursuing him. Meanwhile, his phone incessantly notifies him of a violation of the user agreement. In the dimly lit stairwell, Evan's ears pick up the sound of approaching footsteps, yet he fails to spot anyone downstairs. Suddenly, Court materializes before him, her presence chilling him to the core, as she is now deceased. The deathly figure contorts its neck in a chilling anti-clockwise motion. Overwhelmed with fear, Evan screams as the entity lunges at him, delivering a merciless blow that claims his life. His phone slips from his grasp, and as the countdown reaches 0, Evan breathes his last breath. Later, Amy informs Quinn about Evan's tragic demise. While searching for clues, she stumbles upon his phone. Unlocking it using his Face ID, Quinn discovers that the countdown on the phone has reached 0. Alarmed, she checks her own device and realizes that she has less than 2 days left to live. Understanding that this coincides with the time she had planned to meet her father and sister at her mother's grave, she cancels the arrangement with her father. Just then, a notification from the app appears, indicating a breach of the user agreement. Sensing a presence in her hospital room, Quinn turns around, only to find it empty. Suddenly, Dr. Sullivan materializes, making unwelcome advances, including touching and kissing her. Appalled, Quinn hastily exits the room, intending to report the incident to Nurse Amy. However, her attempt is thwarted when the doctor summons Amy to attend to a patient. That night, Quinn endeavors to delete the app, but her efforts prove futile, as it cannot be uninstalled once installed. Frustrated, she voices her conviction that the app is real and toying with her, manipulating her fate. The next morning, Jordan pays a visit to Quinn's apartment and discovers the app on her phone. Teasing Quinn about her dwindling time left, only one day remaining, Jordan requests to stay in the apartment. Firmly refusing Jordan's plea, they engage in a heated argument, with Jordan ultimately leaving the premises. Later, Quinn acquires a new phone, only to find the app pre-installed on it. Seeking assistance, she implores the seller to remove the app, but to no avail. Angered by this revelation, she storms out, catching the attention of another customer named Matt. Matt reveals that he, too, has the app installed in less than 2 days to live. Seeking solace, they head to a bar to discuss their predicaments. They come to the realization that their shared experiences, such as seeing visions, stem from the app. Both confess that they mindlessly accepted the terms and conditions without reading them. Determined to uncover the truth, they seek a way to access the user agreement and approach an eccentric individual at the bar, requesting him to download the app and peruse the terms and conditions. They discover that the agreement dictates that they must accept their fate, with any attempt to alter their impending deaths resulting in torment by a demon until their demise. This revelation sheds light on Court's and Evan's notifications regarding the breach of the user agreement. Court had attempted to alter her fate by walking instead of using a car, and Evan had resisted his scheduled surgery. Motivated by their findings, Matt and Quinn visit a priest at the hospital in hopes of gaining guidance. However, the priest disbelieves in demons and directs them elsewhere. Before they depart, Nurse Amy requests a conversation with Quinn. Taking her to meet with the HR department, Quinn is taken aback by the surprising accusation. Dr. Sullivan has shifted blame onto Quinn, accusing her of cornering him. As a result, HR suspends Quinn, further complicating her already dire situation. In a fit of anger, she stormed out as no one believed her claims that Dr. Sullivan was actually the one to corner Quinn. Meanwhile, Matt had an encounter with a supernatural presence in the form of a young child in the restroom, but he decided to keep it to himself. Later, Matt and Quinn sought the guidance of a priest who had a keen interest in demons. The priest shared an ancient tale about a prince who learned of his short lifespan from a woman. Despite her advice to accept his fate, the prince foolishly attempted to alter his destiny, only to be tormented by a demon until his demise. According to the priest, the app they were dealing with was a modern incarnation of the same curse that befell the prince. He emphasized that Satan was the ultimate deceiver and breaking the curse would require proving him wrong. Since the countdown displayed by the app was a falsehood, challenging it could expose Satan's lies. The priest suggested finding someone capable of hacking the app, leading them to approach Derek, the person who had sold Amy her phone with the app already installed. Although Derek initially mocked their belief in the app, he agreed to assist them in exchange for a substantial sum. Derek successfully hacked the app, manipulating their countdowns to extend their lives by many years. However, Jordan, who also had the app, discovered that she would still die 3 minutes before her sister. Before she could react, the woman taking care of her temporarily confiscated her phone for use at the dinner table. Grateful for Derek's help, Quinn and Matt decided to spend the night together, seeking comfort in each other's presence. They left the lights on due to their lingering fear. As they prepared for bed, Matt shared a remorseful childhood story about stealing his sick brother's toy. Quinn recounted the tragic accident that took her mother's life, caused by a drunk driver who went unnoticed because Quinn's mother had failed to inform her of her plans. Suddenly, the lights went out, and Quinn sensed a disturbing presence. She tried to wake Matt, but instead, a demon posing as him appeared in bed, terrifying Quinn. Just as fear took hold, the real Matt swiftly emerged and reassured Quinn. To their astonishment, they noticed that their countdown clocks had reset to their original time. Quinn immediately remembered her sister's countdown and hurried to check on her. At the same time, Jordan's phone rang in the old woman's room. When she answered, she discovered that her countdown had changed and experienced a vision of her deceased mother. Overwhelmed with fear, Jordan fled and coincidentally crossed paths with Quinn, who had come to fetch her. Together, Jordan, Quinn, and Matt proceeded to the priest's dwelling. He explained that prolonging even a single second of one's countdown could break the curse. To ensure their safety, they created a protective circle of blessed salt, knowing that Satan and other demons would be unable to breach it. Inside the circle, they aimed to prevent or delay their impending deaths. At that moment, they sensed a demon's presence lurking nearby, intent on killing Matt. Though it attempted to approach them, it was thwarted by the protective circle. Suddenly, the app on Matt's phone activated, revealing a toy robot he had once stolen from his deceased brother during their childhood. His brother materialized before him, accusing him of a theft. Matt pleaded that he had intended to return the toy, but his guilt led him to step outside the safety of the circle. Seizing the opportunity, The demon enticed Matt out of the circle and lured him away from the priest's sanctuary. As Quinn attempts to rescue him, a tragic accident occurs when a car strikes the man, resulting in his untimely demise. Jordan sustains injuries during the incident, and Quinn hastily rushes her to the hospital for treatment. Once Jordan has been attended to, Quinn encounters Dr. Sullivan and cunningly manipulates him into a precarious situation involving sexual advances. Quinn believes that eliminating him before the countdown expires will shatter the curse. Her intention is to prove that Satan is a deceitful being, and she endeavors to end the doctor's life. However, just as she is about to execute her plan, the demon intervenes and snatches the doctor away, saving him from his imminent demise. In the midst of this chaos, Jordan steps in to prevent Quinn from carrying out her lethal mission against the doctor. Subsequently, the demon shifts its focus onto Jordan, relentlessly pursuing her. Overwhelmed by the dire circumstances, Quinn makes a desperate decision to sacrifice herself in order to save her sister. The demon assumes the guise of Quinn's mother, attempting to distract her. Despite the ruse, Quinn remains aware of the deception. In a final, desperate act, she injects herself with a lethal dose of morphine, prematurely ending her own life. As a result of Quinn's sacrifice, the demon is unable to claim Jordan's soul, and the curse is finally broken. Jordan approaches her sister's lifeless body, where she discovers instructions etched onto Quinn's arm. Following these instructions, she administers an antidote, provided by Jackson, into Quinn's arm. Miraculously, Quinn begins to breathe again. Overwhelmed with gratitude and relief, the sisters embrace, grateful for the chance to witness each other's survival. In the aftermath, they pay a visit to their mother's grave, accompanied by their father. As they prepare to depart, a bewildered Quinn receives a notification on her phone, indicating that the beta version of the Countdown app has been installed. In an unexpected twist during the post-credit scene, Derek, who had aided Matt and Quinn in hacking the app, finds himself on a date. However, the tranquility is shattered when he receives a countdown notification. Suddenly, the lights go out. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.